Is this the best non-M BMW you can buy? Let's find out. Oh, one tyre fire, life, baby! Whoa, 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 whoa! What the happened to the steering? So let me explain. We think this is the best non-M car that you can actually afford. Yes, there's some other cool stuff out there. There's old E36s, E34 5 Series, there's old 8 Series, which are super cool, and they're not M cars, but they're big money. This is our E87 130i, and as you might have seen in our last challenge video, we've paid just 2.5 grand for it. And with its 3 litre, 260 horsepower straight six, that is a lot of car for the money. Now, I haven't driven it before today, so I'm going to take you out in it in a minute and show you why I think it's so good. But already, even though we've only had it for a couple of weeks, we think it can be improved. And that is why we've got this. So this is another 130i on some bad boy wheels, but it's actually the 130i tuned by Bird's Performance. So it's the Bird's B1, it's on some Bilstein suspension, it's got uprated anti-roll bars, it's got a Quaife limited slip diff, and it's got a nice exhaust on it. So we'll see what that's like in a minute. To start with, I'm gonna go for a rip in this. So here we are in our 2.5 grand 130i. Matt picked it up a couple of weeks ago. I hadn't driven it before today. This is pretty much my first time driving it. And it feels nice. It feels really nice. It's done 191,000 miles. It's a 2005 car. So in theory, it should be old and falling apart. But you know what? It doesn't knock, it doesn't bang, it doesn't clunk over bumps, which most old BMWs that I've owned, you're always going to get some kind of suspension knocks and bangs going on, but it feels really solid. It was well looked after by the guy who owned it before. Okay, the MOT history does show a long list of advisories, but mechanically he did a pretty good job of keeping it in fairly fine fettle. So you can get the seat nice and low, the steering wheel you can put it exactly where you want. It's quite a chunky old steering wheel. They went through that phase of having really chunky ones. Just feels nice. Just feels right. The dash is pretty simple. There's not a lot of buttons compared to some of the crazy stuff that we've seen over the years. Okay, now stuff's going to more touchscreens. It's just a perfect driving position, perfect surrounding. The aluminium trim makes it feel sporty. Like 2.5 grand, amazing. So the first thing you notice when you got your seating position right and you drive the car is the engine. That straight six from BMW is a work of art, and in this car it's super smooth. It's not mega loud. You do get a bit of a low burble when you're cruising along. When you give it a little down change and a blip and floor it, you can hear a bit more. It sounds so good. Sounds so good. I'll be honest, I can't believe Matt only paid 2.5 grand for this thing. It doesn't feel anywhere near 190,000 miles. Doesn't feel like it's 20 years old. Honestly, it feels tight as a drum. There's no knocks, shakes, rattles. The brakes have a bit of vibration. There's a bit of a clunk sometimes when you change gear, maybe engine mounts, gearbox mounts. The gear change is typical old, slightly older BMW gear change. Can feel a little bit rubbery, but you know what? I don't mind it. Don't mind it at all. I'd rather have a slightly rubbery gear change than an automatic doing it for you. It's just a lovely, lovely thing to drive. And when you push on, do a bit of heel and toe, nail a downshift, put it into a corner. What happens if we give it a launch from a standing start then? Let's give it a go. Ready? Oh, one tyre fire, life, baby! Open diff, not for the win. Oh, the steering. What's going on? It's got like lane assist. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the f happened to the steering? The power steering's backed up. I thought it had lane assist for a second there. It literally tried to keep me in the other lane. That is scary. Right, it seemed like a good buy at 2.5 grand, but when it tries to put you in the other lane because the power steering packs up, not quite so enjoyable. Battery lights come on. Yes, so the best car you can buy that isn't an M car from BMW is definitely this 190,000 mile 1 Series. Whoa, makes you realise how much you need the power steering. So that probably means it's time to go and drive the Bird's tuned version with its different suspension, anti-roll bars and a limited slip diff. Because these things, they honestly, they love a one tyre fire and I do not. I prefer being a 2 tyre hero. So we'll go and park this one up and jump into the other one.
I wasn't actually going to be on camera for this, but what's going on?
So I just took Matt's lovely new 2.5 grand 130i for a test drive, and it drove lovely until the power steering packed up.
Ah, right.
Has that happened before? Hello.
It hasn't happened before.
Hello. What do you think about the power steering packing up then? Do you know why it's broken? Oh, you're lovely, aren't you? He's not worried. He's like, I don't need power steering, I'm a dog.
No, you don't, do you?
So, I've had a little look, Matt. The issue is clear. The belt's come off and absolutely turned into spaghetti.
Ah, that's suboptimal. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not great.
So I was going around a corner at some speed, and the power steering packed up at that very moment when a truck was coming the other way, and some feces might have exited my pants. Yeah.
Right.
So I might need some new trousers, and you might need a new auxiliary belt. And the battery light also came on, which I presume means the alternator is no longer charging it, because that was the same belt.
That's not ideal.
So how far you got to go home?
Only 90 miles. So.
I don't think it's going to last 90 miles. Got breakdown cover?
Thankfully, yes.
Right, might be using it.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, you can drive it without the power steering. Well, I can drive it. You
I might struggle.
Might not be able to drive it. Yeah, you might have a crash at the first corner, but the battery is more of an issue, isn't it? So anyway, I'll leave you with that. I'm going to go to that one. Nice.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Good luck. So, this bird's B1, it's got a set of Bilstein coilovers with some bespoke spring rates. It's got uprated anti-roll bars, and the rear is actually adjustable. It's got a couple of holes so you can go between stiff and softer. It's got a Quaife limited slip diff. Now that is going to make a big difference, because as we saw in the standard one, they love a one tyre fire. So hopefully this will help give us a bit more traction. And it's also got a super sprint exhaust system, which on this one are fitted with quad exit pipes, which not to my taste, not to everyone's taste, but inside doesn't sound hugely different. You get a little bit more noise, which is good. It's far from obnoxious. You just hear a little bit more of the engine as you rev it through the gears.
After leaving Alex to have fun in the modified 130i, I decided to drive over to Bird, who did indeed have a spare aux belt. The only question was whether or not the car would last 6 miles to get there.
Right, Alex has decided to put the camera in my car just to see how it started. That's a good start. Now, oh my god, oh that's heavy. I hate this.
This feels super tight, feels nice on the brakes. And I love the Hartger gear knob. It's much smaller, it's got a really thin neck to it. That's what you talk about knobs, got a thin neck. Don't know. It feels like a proper old school BMW gear knob. Like you're getting a classic E28 or E24 or something, so I love it. I love the way it feels. And it actually takes away quite a bit of that rubberiness from the gear change.
I think a lot of my job involves driving around in nice new press cars, and then something goes wrong, it's someone else's problem. This time, it's definitely my problem.
So when we pull away with our Quaife limited slip diff, doesn't struggle for traction. The traction control light came on just as I changed to second, but it didn't come on up through first, whereas in the standard car with its open diff, and it just wanted to spin the wheel, the traction control light was killing it the whole way. So obviously the Quaife in this gives it a lot more traction. I love a little blip. I love a little blip and a downshift in these things. And the suspension on this B road, this is actually quite a smooth B road. I have driven on ones much worse than this, but it's so composed. The other one, the standard car, felt a little bit choppy. This doesn't feel like that at all actually. I think they've done a perfect job of getting the spring rates matched to the damping. It's lovely. You feel much more comfortable going down a road like that at a bit more speed than you do in the standard one.
I did Google how long a car lasts with the alternator not working. I got various answers ranging from 5 minutes to 100 miles. I guess it depends on a lot of factors, including the health of the battery, the state of charge. I mean, obviously it's been run all day. It did like 90 miles to get down to the chute, so I'm hoping that means it will make it all the way.
Oh, I love the gear knob. It makes such a difference the way the gear change feels. My little Hartger? Is it Hartger or Hartger? I think it's Hartger. Ah, give me the old Hartger and shift on that thing.
What we've done by exploding the aux belt is make our 130i more of a pure driver's car. There's no corrupting influence of that pesky power steering. All feel.
So what happens if, let's turn the old DTC, dynamic traction control off. Hang on, bit of road that's half wet, so we'll stop in the exact same place. Car behind, give it some revs. Oh, nice. Loads more traction. You can kind of feel the back end want to snake around a little bit because both wheels are spinning up like a dream. Oh, it does sound nice. Rides so well. So many moons ago when I had my E46 330 Ci, I loved that car, but it always felt like it needed a bit more power. That was about 230 horsepower. This is about 265, so it's got about another 30 brake, and you can feel the difference. It kind of feels like the power it should have always had in the E46. Finally it got given it in this, the 1 Series, and it feels much better for it. It is still quite a heavy car. It's about 1,430 kilos. I did once look at trying to get one of these as a track car, but I thought to get it down to a decent weight, you have to do a lot of stripping work. So I went for a little French hot hatch that was full of rust and holes and weighed 900 kilos instead. So at the start of the video, I said that I thought the 130i was the best non-M BMW you can buy for a reasonable price, a few grand. And having spent a day with our standard one and this one, the Birds tuned one, I'm going to stick to my guns and stick with what I said earlier. Because what else can you buy for 2.5 grand, which we spent on ours, that has the same kind of power, that is as engaging to drive, and that isn't an old classic that's full of rust? All the other stuff that's interesting, E36s, E30s, E39s, E34s, E28s, older 5 Series, or like an 8 Series, they're all big money, or the ones that are cheaper are full of rust and need loads of work doing. Okay, granted, our 1 Series power steering did just pack up, the belt came off, but that should be a relatively cheap and easy fix, and kind of comes with the territory for a 190,000 mile 20-year-old Beamer. I think they're great value and they're a lot of fun.
Here we go. Oh god, oh god. Oh god. Oh, this is horrible. Oh, I got to have a go at it. Oh my god. This is hateful. Why does anyone go to the gym? Kind of taking up 2 spaces now, but sure, it's fine. Well, that was horrible.
So driving this one has given me a lot of food for thought about what we can do to ours. With a few little mods, it can take what's already a good car that only cost us 2.5 grand and turn it, I think, into a really good car. So maybe we'll speak to our friends at BDS, maybe we'll get a bit of engine tuning done, maybe we'll do some suspension stuff, not sure yet, but there's a lot of food for thought. And I reckon we're going to have a lot of fun with our little 1 Series. See you then.